So yeah, Azulanmon teaches Black War Greymon the error of his ways, and then Black War Greymon goes off to find out his own path in life. And Azulanmon goes to try to fix all the damage that was done. Also there are 3 other digital gods, but that's not important because we never get to meet them. And yeah, that's the end of the second arc, I guess. The second arc is weird. It really is, because I think the best episodes of the second arc are all in its setup. In fact, most of the episodes in this arc seem like they were just setup. They're setting up for the third arc, which makes me wonder if the second arc is even necessary. Because, I mean, for me, the second arc goes completely downhill as soon as they introduce the Destiny Stones. Because as soon as they introduce the Destiny Stones, they have to start introducing all these new rules that they then have to sit down and explain, and all these new rules just turn out to be overcomplicated ways to do things like get Digimon in the real world. Which really, when you think about it, shouldn't be that hard to do. It certainly doesn't need this whole creation of this massive mythology of gods and, you know, stones controlling the fabric of the digital world, especially if it's not going to be explored. I mean, Arukenimon already has the ability to transfer back and forth through the digital world and human world. So you might as well say she's found like a backdoor port that anyone can transfer through without a Digivice, and she's using that to infest the real world with Digimon for their really convoluted plan. So now Black War Greymon flew off to find inner peace or something. The Digimon god went away to fix the world. But now we finally get to meet the real mastermind behind everything that's happened. Ken becoming the Digimon Emperor, all the control spires, Black War Greymon, the destruction of the Destiny Stones, and the slow but sure infiltration of Digimon in the human world. And boy, does he make a great first impression.
Mr. Kaishi, what a pleasant surprise bumping into you here. I hope you remember me.
Mr. Oikawa, is it?
Yes.
Right. You investigated the Heighton View Terrace incident 8 years ago. It's so nice to see you again.
Yes, it is. By the way, remember the Odaiba fog incident? Well, I'm afraid this current monster problem is related. In fact, it's only just the beginning.
Huh? What do you mean by that? Only just the beginning.
You'll find out. In the meantime, you should be careful of who you let your sons play with.
My sons? What do you know about TK and Matt?
Actually, I know everything, my dear. Enjoy the holidays. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
He's gone.
Yes, this is Oikawa. And he's our main villain for the third arc, and also the second human villain of the entire series. He's a programmer who apparently investigated the whole Myotismon invasion, and also has a very weird connection to the digital world. I mean, he's employing 2 Digimon who just seem to follow him blindly, so he's another mysterious villain for this season. There's a lot of them, but he is probably one of the evilest villains in Digimon history. Why? Well, you see, his plan was to destroy the barrier between the human world and digital world so he could send Digimon across the world to create a crisis that our heroes have to fly around the world to deal with. And while they're gone, he can freely go about doing his evil deeds and getting ready for his ultimate plan. So yes, Oikawa is the reason that our heroes have to go around the world and participate in this utterly awful subplot. Here's a couple reasons why this subplot sucks. Number 1, it's pointless. You see, the whole reason Oikawa basically put all these Digimon all over the world was to get the heroes out of Japan, so he can go kidnap kids for his own nefarious purposes. Wait, I feel like that came out wrong. But I can't tell if what he actually does is worse than what immediately comes to mind when you say that sentence. But anyway, okay, so Oikawa's trying to kidnap kids. I don't feel that if he wants to do this, he needs to have the kids out of Japan and across the world. Like, I feel like he could just do this while the kids are still in Japan and, you know, just kind of have it like the hunt for the eighth child and adventure. But instead they're hunting for Oikawa before he could, like, kidnap the kids. And they're always, like, just about to catch him, and he just slips away somehow. I think that would be a lot better than this just overcomplicated, ridiculous, stupid saga of just nothing except wasting my time. Just have the whole thing take place in Japan, just have the kids hunting for him throughout the city, and that's it. We don't need to go around the world to waste this much time. The second reason why I hate this is quite simply I don't find it that entertaining, or funny, or just amusing. You see, it's very hard to describe why, but I just don't find it funny. I'm just sitting there stone-faced the whole time I'm watching this, and I don't even know how anyone thought this was a good idea to begin with. All these kids that they meet are just annoying. I hate them. I hate all of them. And I want them all to go away as painfully as possible. I know that's not like a really specific reason why I don't like this, but it's just how I feel. The third reason why I don't like this, it just creates this giant hole in continuity, and it forces me to think, how has nobody in the whole world noticed Digimon until just now? I mean, it seems like every other kid in the world has a Digimon. Has every one of these kids just like masterfully disguised their Digimon and kept it out of sight? Has nobody accidentally revealed Digimon to all of humanity, or maybe intentionally done it? Also, I briefly touched on this with Michael, but I don't like the idea of more than just the main group of kids having Digimon. Because to me, when you make it just like such a global thing, like hundreds or even thousands of kids have it, not just an exclusive few, it makes the kids to me seem a lot less special. And it makes this idea that they're like the chosen kids really kind of diluted. I mean, it makes me think, do all these kids have crests, or do like they have crests that represent them? Like, are there like 100 kids that all are represented by the crest of courage, and 200 kids that are represented by the crest of knowledge or sincerity? And how do they get their Digimon to Digivolve? I thought that was like something only the chosen kids can do, but apparently everybody can do it. And with the original 8 kids, and even these new with Davis, Cody, and Yoli, their Digimon were specially crafted and waiting for them specifically. Does that mean like Betamon was either specifically crafted or, you know, held in one of these facilities just waiting for Michael? I mean, to me, it just raises all these questions that it's not going to answer, and it just overall, like I said, takes away from the importance and the significance of the chosen kids. The last reason why I hate this portion here is, well, Genai. Remember Genai, that old guy that would like help the kids out sometimes, tell them what was going on? Yeah, he's in this now, except that he's a lot younger. Like, I'd say he kind of looks like he's in his 20s, and he's all over the world now, and seems to largely, once again, just kind of give basic information what's going on, and to provide really bad comic relief and don some really bad disguises. When he does dress up, though, he kind of reminds me of Gene Parmesan, if you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I hope that answered your questions of why I hate this part, but then again, I don't think it really did, because I just hate this part on an emotional level that I can't describe. It just makes me depressed. Very depressed. Anyway, let's go back to talking about the plot. Now that Oikawa has kidnapped enough children, and the heroes have finished up saving the world and all, the show takes another really weird turn. We now enter the Daemon Saga, But before we explain who Daemon is, we have to explain what the hell is going on with Oikawa. Because now Oikawa has kidnapped Ken, and the kids are engaged in a high-speed chase with Mummymon, who is driving a car full of kidnapped children and Ken through the city. Now, why does Oikawa want to kidnap Ken? Well, dark spores. Okay, I'm not sure if it was mentioned until now, but Oikawa's big plan is to go to the digital world. But he's not a Digidestined, so how is he gonna do it? Dark spores. Just dark spores. Basically, dark spores are these tiny little, like, seed packets that when they enter the human body, they make its host, like, physically able and incredibly intelligent, but it also turns you evil, slowly. And then they turn into a flower that sprouts on the top of your head. Anyway, Oikawa needs these dark spores to go to the digital world, and Ken has the original. Because Ken got it in a flashback that I didn't cover, because I don't care, at least not in this section. I'll probably talk about when I get to Ken's section, but blah 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 blah.